Today we are comparing, as you saw, Outrun on the Sega Master System and Rad Racer on the NES. I'm using the power base converter. Before I get into gameplay for Outrun here, the game came out in 1986 as an arcade. It was the most successful arcade game in 86 and 87. And Sega ported it to the Master System in 87. And this was their model, porting popular arcade games that they had to their home console, the Master System, with varying degrees of success. This, not so much success. Let's take a look. So you can, in the arcade game, you could choose your soundtrack. And I've kind of done that here. Okay, so you can see they still have the option to change your soundtrack. I like the other one better, but you had choices in the 8-bit era. As a developer, you could have engine and music, or just music, and they chose just music, and it is unpleasant to say the least because it's a bit weird that your car makes no noise. The graphics are fantastic for an 8-bit arcade port. Sega always did well with the Master System compared to Nintendo's graphics, and it is, as you can see, horizontal scrolling to simulate 3D. Car looks pretty detailed, and you need to shift between low and high gear, and the goal is to reach your checkpoint. One unique feature of this game is you can choose, it's not completely linear, I chose the left path. Left is easier. You can pick this up. I picked this up in my local Retro Classics for $20. And my overall rating, there's that classic Master System flicker. My overall rating is a 5 out of 10. That first section wasn't so bad, but now this feels a little weird. It feels like the car is not moving at all. You can definitely tell because the car is not moving and the horizontal scrolling is just scrolling past. You can really feel that in this section of the game. I like the detail on that Ferrari Testarossa, but can't say much for the gameplay here. Again, I'll play through until I get a game over, but I'm going to go left again because it's easier. And this is where the game really lets you down. They do away with the lines on the road. Oh, I forgot to shift. And without a reference point, it looks like you're not moving at all. It feels very bizarre to play. I seem to be doing pretty well. Yeah, it feels like you're not moving. It feels like you're on ice sliding all over the place. So, excellent graphics on the car. The backgrounds are pretty decent. Graphics for an 8-bit system, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Sound 6 out of 10. I would prefer to just go silent and just have an engine sound. Gameplay is awful. That's like a 3 out of 10. It's very difficult. You're sliding all over the road. Like I said, in this section, you can hardly tell that you are moving. This was an excellent arcade game and a mediocre port at best. And that's gonna do it because we have a game over. Alright, let's take a look at Rad Racer. Because Nintendo decided to do what Sega already was. So, Outrun was extremely popular. Even though it was a bad port, it sold well, so Nintendo decided that 90% of the market share wasn't enough. The one or few areas where Sega had success, they needed to get their own success. So, here we go. As you saw, you could choose your car. I'm choosing the Testarossa to compare it as closely as possible to Outrun. Already, you can tell that the graphics just are not there. The Nintendo was not as capable as the Master System. But I do like that there's no music and that you have an engine sound. I also like that the controls are a lot tighter. This is much more pleasant to play, not as pleasant to look at, but much more pleasant to play. It is literally the exact same game. One thing I also like is I ran out of time and you coast to a stop, which allows you to get potentially to your next checkpoint. This sold 1.6 million units. I would imagine that it definitely outsold the Master System port of Outrun because the Nintendo outsold the Master System in general, 90% of the market share. And to be honest, this is a better game. So I'm giving this a 5.5 out of 10 because I like the fact that you actually have an engine sound and the controls are much better. This was available in 3D. I'm not going to make that one. And game over. This was available in 3D, old school 3D glasses, the red lens and the blue lens. I am not playing that version. So one thing I do like about this game over Outrun is, if you look, we are changing from day to night, and if we actually make it to San Francisco, there's a very cool cityscape with lights in the background, but it's a pretty cool effect. It's the one thing that they decided to do with this game to make it different, and I like it. So overall, the final assessment here is, and there we go, and we are about to get a game over. Will I make it? Will I make it? Will I make it? Son of a bitch. Did not make it. Fuck you, Nintendo. Alright, so, obviously I am not the best at this game, but there is your review. Final assessment here is Outrun is a shitty port of a very, very good and very popular arcade game, and Outrun is a direct knockoff of a shitty port in order to make a quick buck in the one area where Sega was actually doing well and selling some units. So there you have it. They both completely suck.